are going to look at using the partial product method to multiply whole numbers and decimals. Alright, so consider 43 times 26. Now, you have probably already an idea of how you would go about multiplying these two numbers together. For example, you might use the traditional algorithm where you would line the numbers up from right to left and do your multiplication starting with the ones place and moving from the ones to the tens and so on. Or you might use lattice method with the grid and multiply each number separately from the ones and the ones to the tens and so on. Well, today we're going to try a new method of multiplication called partial products. When you set up your partial products, since we have two two-digit numbers, I'm going to set them up as so. Let me give myself some more room. Alrighty, here we go. Alright, so I've got 26 and I'm multiplying that by 43. Now, when I multiply with my partial products, I'm going to focus on the place values of the numbers that I have. And I'm going to go left to right, not right to left like you would with a traditional algorithm. So we start with our tens place when we do the multiplication. And also, I'm going to change my color for my pen, and I'm going to write some numbers on the left-hand side, but that's not what you have to do as part of the algorithm. It's just I'm showing you what I'm doing. Okay, so over here I'm going to start with 20 times 40. Okay, so what does that give me? 20 times 40, well, 2 times 4 is 8, but I have 20 instead of 2 and I have 40 instead of 4, so I have to multiply 8 times 10 twice, which would give me my 20 and my 40, so I get 800. Okay? Next, I need to multiply my tens place, the 20, times 3 for the ones place of 43. So 20 times 3 equals 60. And I forgot to write 20 times 3 over here. Okay. Next, I'm going to move to my tens place with my bottom number. So I've already done 20 times 40 here, so I don't do that again. But what I do need to do is I need to do 40 times 6. Okay, so let me write that. 40 times 6. And 40 times 6, well, 4 times 6 is 24. But I have 40, so I need to multiply 24 times 10, and I get 240. Okay, and last but not least, I have to finish off with my ones place. So I have, let me change my color again, 6 times 3. Again, these numbers, you don't have to write them. You certainly can write them if it'll help you, but you don't have to. 6 times 3 equals, Mr. Shanto. Let's fix that. Sorry, I want to keep all my colors the same. So 6 times 3 equals 18. Alright, let's give myself a little bit more room since I don't have any room to add. The last step of this process is to add it all up. And what do you get when you add all these numbers together? 0 plus 0 plus 0 plus 8 equals 8. 0 plus 6 plus 4 plus 1 is 10 plus 1 is 11. Of course, I'll have to carry my 1. 8 plus 2 is 10, plus 1 is 11. So I get 1,118. Alright, let's look at another example, but this time I'm not going to write what I'm doing on the left-hand side. I'm going to just walk you through it and talk you through it. Okay, I've got 400. Now, I have to start with each place value from left to right. 400 as 4 100s times 5 tens plus 0 plus 0 plus 0 plus 0 plus 5 plus 5 is 1 plus 4 is 5 plus 4 is 0 plus 2 is 2. 2 and 2. That's 22,900. All right, well, now that we're working with decimals, it's really helpful to actually make a magnitude estimate first to know what place value we're expecting our answer to be in. So let's go ahead and do that right now. So 2 and 4 tenths times 63 equals something. Let's find a nice estimate that we could use to help us. So let's look at 2.4 and we'll round that down to 2. And 63, let's round that to 60. And we get 2 times 60, well 6 times 2 is 12. I have to multiply by 10, so I get 120. So I'm looking for my answer to be in the hundreds place, because the answer is 120. So that gives me a good idea of where I need to start. Okay, so I can still use partial products, so let's get me some more room. And I'll just keep the estimate there so you can see it. And we'll start with the number 63 on top, and we'll put the 2.4 or 2 and 4 tenths on the bottom, and let's do our multiply. With partial products, let me scoot this over a little bit. There we go. All right. With partial products, we will start with our tens place. So I have 60 times 20, and that gives me... Oh, and I apologize. I'm ignoring the decimal point for the moment. We'll get to it in a second, okay? So I'm 60 times 20, and that 6 times 2 is 12, but I'm multiplying 60 times 20, so I need to multiply by 10 twice. So I have 120 and 1,200. Okay. Next, I need to do 60 times 4. So that 6 times 4 is 24. But it's 60, so I have to multiply by 10, so 24 times 10 is 240. Next, I need to move to my 20. I've already done 20 times 60. I don't do it again. I do 20 times 3. That gives me 60. And last but not least, I need to do 3 times 4, which gives me 12. All right, let's move it up a little bit. All right, we'll get back to our estimate in a second. Add them all up. 0 plus 0 plus 0 plus 2. 4 plus 6 plus 1, 11. Carry my 1. 1 plus 2 is 3 plus 2 is 5. And I have, last but not least, a 1 in that place. Now, let's look at our estimate, okay? So our estimate is in the hundreds place. So that means my answer needs to be, the decimal needs to be in the hundreds place. So if I'm looking at these numbers to make it in the hundreds place, my decimal would have to go between 100, the 1 and the 2. So I have 151 and 2 tenths. All right, so why do we do multiple methods to solve problems that we know how to solve? It's really to expand our brain and to actually get into understanding how numbers and combination of numbers work together. And we're building our number sense through these different algorithms. So if you're not comfortable with this, try it. Challenge yourself. Try to get it something that you understand better. It'll make you much more fluent in math. So what your job is to do in your math journal, please do page 50 and page 51. And don't forget to, if you get stuck, stop. And look at the directions, and you only need to pick 3 problems to show the actual work in. You're making estimates for the other 6. So there's 6 on each page. You pick 3, just follow the directions on there, but you're doing 3 that the estimate is at least 1,000, and on 51 you're doing 3 that the estimate is at least 10. All right, good luck, and we'll see you in class tomorrow.